You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, several Oklahoma communities are still working on cleanup efforts after this year's spring tornadoes. We're going to hear how one area hospital is sending help to a local community.
Also, one southeast Kansas community is experiencing problems with its trash service. We're going to hear how the city of Lear is dealing with their frustration.
And we've got a few scattered thunderstorms out there this morning. Not all of us will see rain, but some of us will, some of us are. We'll have a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. on... Hi.
Uh-oh.
Goodbye. It was a pleasure being here.
Yes.
It's just after 7 o'clock on this Thursday morning. It is almost Friday, and boy, I'm telling you, it needs to be Friday.
That'd be pretty nice.
I think everybody's ready for the weekend.
Cameras might agree with us as they just try to cut us out.
Well, that's all right. I'm sure after 4 days straight, the folks at home are probably tired of seeing us.
Maybe. Probably.
Perhaps if we were upside down, shake things up a bit.
You know, maybe we'll try it on Friday.
Maybe. You'll have to tune in Friday, see if we're
thing.
upside down or not.
Well, a Joplin Medical Clinic is sending mobile aid to the community of Enid, Oklahoma as they recover from severe storms.
KOM's Amber Jenkins has more.
The community of Eden, Oklahoma is still recovering from May 19th severe storms. The local clinic, Great Salt Plains Health, building was damaged by high winds and hail, crippling their medical abilities. However, the community of Joplin, Missouri knows a thing or two about recovering from severe weather.
Since we've been through the tornado here, we know what it's like.
Place because of flooding within the clinic from rain, subsequent rain after the hail event, and so just have a big mess in that clinic. So this is going to be extremely helpful to bring care to the Enid area.
Access Family Care in Joplin is sending their mobile medical unit 250 miles west to provide health care in their parking lot. GSP's Health says they can still assist the community while repairing the roof and internal damage.
In the process of getting the roof replaced, and that's after 2 weeks, that's nearly done. Should be done in the next few days. And then the inside damage will take months to repair.
It's going to be as long as they need it. So we've got an agreement already for 90 days. If they need longer than that, then we'll just re-up that.
According to Access Family, the mobile medical unit was purchased for situations like this.
CARES Act federal funding that came to some local counties. So McDonald County, Newton County, and Barton County all joined in together, pooled their money to help us purchase this. And this is what it's for. It's for community events and for emergencies.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Great Salt Plains Health also has clinics in Canton, Cherokee, and Medford, Oklahoma.
So it's certainly great to see the folks here stepping up. As you know, we've been there,
right, and
we've learned, and I think that's the important thing, is we've learned what to do after these kinds of events. So it's easier for us to help out other communities that maybe have hopefully not been through anything like this before. So
yeah, definitely great to see them, giving a hand to smaller communities.
Absolutely. And we've got a few scattered thunderstorms out there this morning in southeastern Kansas. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing us exactly where they are, and there they are. And we're going to see these continue into the early afternoon. So we're going to take a closer look here. So just now rolling through Garnett, done there. Iola, you just got done with the shower. Yates Center, same. Mound City, you're going to be up next. And if these things continue to hold, so we're going to take this line here. We're talking Fort Scott, Girard, Erie, the northern sides of Chanute, eventually even into Pittsburgh. And then we've got additional scattered showers and thunderstorms along a line, this complex that's kind of flared up in the last few hours across northeastern Kansas. The good news is no severe weather expected with any of this, and not everybody is going to see rain today, but following the future track, which does seem to be fairly in line with where that complex is now. As we head through the morning and into the afternoon, we'll see these scattered showers and storms continue, and they'll begin to die out as we head into the late afternoon and very early evening hours, leaving us with a mostly clear night. Temperatures this morning, we mentioned yesterday, is going to be a bit of a chilly start. Some of us in our southern counties earlier this morning were mid-upper 50s. We still got some upper 50s. We're starting to see a lot more low mid 60s. And Chanute, the warm spot right now, sitting at at 68. Highs today similar to the last few days, upper 70s, low 80s, and then again for some of us, some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. The rest of us partly cloudy and clearing out by the evening hours. We do have additional shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into the weekend. We'll break down those details in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
Thanks, Chris. Well, police in Parsons, Kansas are looking to interview Good Samaritans who helped during a house fire yesterday afternoon. Firefighters responded to the fire just after 3:30 yesterday afternoon. The police department says multiple victims have been transported by air flight to Tulsa, including children. The fire was in the 300 block of South 22nd Street. The police department calls this a multi-agency investigation and are looking for information from anyone who may have assisted residents before first responders arrived. Police also say a man was arrested at the scene on an unrelated warrant. The Columbus City Council announces it selected Kyle Clark to serve as the next chief of police. Clark is a lifelong resident of Cherokee County who has served the police department for more than a decade. He has served multiple roles within the department over the years and holds numerous law enforcement professional certifications, as well as a Bachelor of Science degrees in criminal justice and justice studies. He replaces Chief Jason Daniels, who died last month after a battle with cancer. Daniels served the community for more than 20 years. Well, frustration concerning trash service. The city of Weir, Kansas says they have had long delays in service from one of the sanitation companies, and now they have to dish out money to keep the streets clean. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
It's happened more than once. Them being late, and of course, you know, you can't have bags laying around town. You know, you have stray dogs that might, you know, get in the trash and strew it all over the place, and I don't want that for my town.
Card's trash service is one of 4 that residents in Weir have to choose from, and it's the only one residents are having a problem with.
Have you had any issues with any of your other 3 services at all?
We have not. We have not.
However, the overflow of trash has gotten so out of hand, the city now has to pick up the tab.
We went ahead and got arrangements to get a roll-off where our residents can get rid of their overflowing trash so we don't get it all over our streets. Some people are laying bags next to their bins because they're full.
Mayor of Weir, Joe Tavanero, says he hopes to see a change for his town.
I hope they meet their obligations. If they say they're going to come and pick up on Wednesday, you know, I hope to see them here on Wednesdays picking up the trash.
The dumpster will still be available for residents this Friday. However, it is not a permanent solution. So if residents continue to have to wait for service, they may have to seek other solutions, including changing the service that's provided to them. Reporting in Weir, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The last time we covered issues with Card's trash service, we reached out with additional questions for the company. We still have not received a response. And those are our top stories in this half hour. Coming up next, Chris Hicks joins us this morning with an invitation for Mornings with Mommy classes. And later today marks the 80th anniversary of the Normandy invasion. We'll hear how one location creates a tribute as well as a message for future generations. We'll be right back, but before we head to break, here's a live look from the 66 Drive-In Theater in Carthage, Missouri. Well, if you're looking for a place where you can enjoy activities with your kids and meet other parents, you should look into Mornings with Mommy. Chris Hicks, one of the organizers, is with us this morning to share how the program benefits kids and their parents. Welcome to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so talk to me about Mornings with Mommy and kind of just the development about, the event.
What we had in mind was it's an educational play date. For kids before they actually start kindergarten or preschool. So we have a theme each time we meet.
Okay, fun.
And then everything centers around the theme. we have centers set up throughout the room. We start with a story, and then after that, the kids are able to go take their parents to whatever center they would like to check out and have fun with.
Absolutely. We're seeing some of the video there from a Mornings with Mommy event. And so each session follows the same schedule. There's circle time, center time, and snack time. And this is how long is this event entirely?
It's an hour,
okay.
An hour-long program. And not only does it benefit the children, but the moms, caregivers, and dads, they all form a friendship too, coming
yes, certainly.
Every other week. So it's a wonderful program, honestly benefiting the kiddos, learning to interact with other kids, but also moms who need a break and want to talk to other adults. So.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that this is every other week. Can you talk to me about the specific days and times?
Absolutely. We meet 4 times a month. We meet on the 1st and 3rd, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
So we offer an evening class on Tuesday from 6 to 7, as well as a morning class on Wednesday from 9 to 10.
Wonderful. And then if people want to be a part of this, can they register for this event?
Yep.
Is it walk-ins? What's accepted?
Both, but if you want to register, you can go to faithpittsburgh.com. Super easy. We have our summer schedule as well as our registration online. Or if you want to drop in and check us out, we would love that as well.
Absolutely wonderful. And then just real quick, talk to me about why it's so important to have a community event like this, to bring, families together and kids to make friends and just to, have that sort of sense of community.
Absolutely. I think the most important criteria is it's a safe environment. Right. The kids come in and they actually know. I mean, they walk into the church and they know right where to go, and they're happy, and it gives them a sense, I think, a little bit of learning some independence for mom and dad. Mom and dad are still in the room. They know that, but they kind of can go off and have fun with the kids.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. And we'll, of course, have all that information on our website later this morning, and we'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News 717 on this Thursday morning. Live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. See a few stray clouds out there, and that is from some thunderstorms that are off to the north and west of the city in southeast Kansas. There's a better view of some of those clouds from the MoDOT camera 32nd and range line. Down in Neosho, though, clear skies, looking pretty good. Sunny start to the day. And Neosho is one of those locations that should remain dry through today. But here's a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, and you can see where we've got these showers and a couple of thunderstorms rolling through the area. So Fort Scott getting ready to roll in. Chanute, you're getting some rain. Mound City, it is right on top of you there, and this is going to continue to push off to the south and east. So eventually Erie, Girard, Pittsburgh, and at some point maybe Nevada, Lamar will get in on some of this action as well, as we've got this complex of thunderstorms that's developed over the last few hours into northeastern Kansas. Nothing severe, nothing strong, but some showers and storms, and these are lining up pretty well with the future track on what we're expecting. So they'll continue with us through the morning and into the early afternoon hours, and then they'll start to kind of fizzle out as we head to mid-afternoon, and by late afternoon, early evening, they are out of here. And then we'll be mostly clear and dry through the rest of tonight. I know the future track's showing some showers tonight. I do not think that we're really going to see much in the way of anything out there. Most of our Friday looks pretty fantastic. An isolated shower too, maybe in the evening on Friday. Again, most of us dry. It'll be late Friday night, and we'll get this line of thunderstorms coming through. A pretty intense looking line here, and some of these could be strong to low grade severe, so we're going to keep an eye on that for you. But they also exit very quickly as we head toward Saturday morning. Then most of our Saturday looks pretty good. It'll be warm, partly cloudy skies, and then about 5-6 o'clock in the evening, some spotty showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. And then as we go late again overnight Saturday into Sunday morning, we'll see another complex of showers and thunderstorms, and some of those could be strong to low grade severe as well. So Some isolated thunderstorms possible across the area. I think future tracks right. I think it's going to be mainly in this zone right here. And then we'll see that low end risk for some strong to low grade severe thunderstorms Friday night into Saturday morning, and again Saturday night into Sunday morning out there. So we'll keep an eye on all that for you. Our camera 7th and range line giving a much better view of those clouds off to the northwest with those showers and storms in Kansas. 62 in Joplin. Wind is variable at 3. Temperatures around the region starting to warm up a bit. Still some upper 50s out there. Most of us low to mid 60s, and Chanute still the warm spot sitting at 68. So again, for some of us, isolated showers and storms through the morning. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies. 79 by 11 o'clock this morning. Highs today upper 70s and into the low 80s, and then we'll go mid to upper 80s Friday. Showers and storms again continuing through Sunday, and then we'll dry out by the beginning of next week. That's a check of your forecast. We're back with more right after this. Well, this week marks the 80th anniversary of D-Day, the invasion that helped turn the tide in World War II and set the stage for an Allied victory. Veterans and families of the fallen gather in Normandy, where thousands of servicemen are buried.
Bradley Blackburn shows us how preserving that sacred space is a tribute and a message for future generations.
Just above the sandy shores in Normandy, France, where tens of thousands of Allied troops stormed the beach on June 6, 1944, the American cemetery is a monument to their sacrifice, and for many, their final resting place. The rows of gleaming white tombstones set with military precision on a pristine green lawn, and keeping it that way is a full-time mission.
We keep it standard across, make sure that everything is uniform, just like the military.
Captain Florent Groberg is a warrior himself and a Medal of Honor recipient who now helps lead the American Battle Monuments Commission. The organization maintains more than 24 military cemeteries around the globe, but Normandy is the largest.
Those numbers were incredibly high in those battles out there during World War II. That it was impossible for the armed forces to be able to recover all the bodies and bring back.
The staff and grounds crews now keeping watch are largely French locals. Some have worked on site for decades, and all know they are preserving history.
You have heroes underneath you every single day. Every time you mow that grass, you clean tombs, everything that you do represents them, and it's a big thank you.
And this work will go on forever.
It will go on forever. It is a commitment that we have made, and we will continue to make forever.
Groberg has traveled to France with some of the 200 World War II veterans expected at the cemetery for this anniversary.
What you did, the sacrifice you made, and the folks who didn't come home who are buried in this cemetery, the sacrifice that they all made is worth it.
A message set in stone where history was made on D-Day.
Of course, important to remember those sacrifices that were made, because without those sacrifices, you never know how things could have turned out. They fought for freedom, and thankfully they were successful.
And 80 years, ago today, now it all mattered what they did for us. So
yeah, it matters to this day.
Yes, absolutely. Well, coming up, experts warn that this year's heat wave will arrive early. We'll have tips on how to stay cool this summer.
And we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms in southeast Kansas. A few more on the way for some of us. Not all of us will see rain today. We'll break down the details in your forecast when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. I'm Elise Noe. Cherokee County, Kansas 4-H yesterday raised money for building improvements. The organization hosted a barbecue meatball dinner and a silent auction of items including yard games, clothing, home decor, and fresh produce. Officials say the money raised will help update the building's kitchen, provide new bathroom cabinets, new windows, and cabinets for trophies and plaques.
This building was built in 1990 by volunteers, and so we just felt like it needed to have some updates done to it. Last year we did this, and we have painted, put new walls up, we did new ceilings and fans, but we're still needing to do some updates to the kitchen and the bathrooms, and then hopefully some new carts for the chairs and tables so that they roll easily.
Kids in the 4-H program helped run the event as part of a learning experience. The Kansas Department of Revenue wants to remind people that all embossed license plates are being replaced this year. The department says the current embossed plates have deteriorated and can pose a challenge for law enforcement. If you have an embossed plate, your renewal will be flagged and you'll receive a temporary tag and a decal when you renew your registration. We have more information on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. The city of Joplin wants to remind you the community is offering 2 public swimming locations this summer. Both Schifferdecker and Cunningham Aquatic Centers will be open for the season. In addition, park staff has announced family swim dates to provide more options for families visiting the aquatic centers. Family swim is held periodically from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at either or sometimes both aquatic centers. That's an extension of normal hours to accommodate busy families. Admission prices are the same as for normal business hours. The first family swim night will be this coming Friday at both sites. You can find the full schedule for family swim nights at KOAMnewsnow.com. Little library patrons in Chanute headed down a rabbit hole yesterday. The Chanute Public Library hosted a Mad Hatter Tea Party. The event featured Mary Berry tea, listening to a reading of Alice in Wonderland, and just having fun.
What they're hearing, for one thing, because it's an old story. It's a classic story. I hope they enjoy that. I hope they realize that fun things happen at the library. They can come and they can meet other kids and play with other people, and it's all fun.
That group of kiddos ranged in age from 3 to 7. The city of Miami kicked off camp season this week. The Miami Summer Recreation Program brought the kids out to the Miami Civic Center for a ton of fun and activities. Most of the fun for the summer program will take place at the Civic Center, but kids can also expect some field trips and swimming. Another thing kids can expect, making some new friends.
It's run by the city, so there's not very many cities that offer recreational programs for their children, especially ones that don't cost an arm and a leg. So to have this type of program and to be able to offer it to our families, it's just a remarkable thing that we can do for our community.
Well, the program runs through the month of June. For a full schedule, just head on over to KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's Chris with a look at the forecast.
Now we got a few scattered thunderstorms out there for some of us. Some showers out in southeastern Kansas. We've seen a little redevelopment taking place back behind some of this. Again, no strong or severe thunderstorms with any of this activity. In fact, we're not even picking up on any at least cloud to ground lightning. Remember, the lightning detector on here will only pick up lightning strikes, not cloud to cloud lightning. So Fort Scott, it is starting to rain on you. Erie, just to your north. Iola, got this little shower that is redeveloped over the city. And then back behind, we've got a little complex of thunderstorms across northeastern Kansas. All of this, though, is roughly in line with what the future track is showing. As we head through the morning and into the afternoon, we'll have this little complex of showers and storms, so most of us will remain dry, but some of us will continue to see scattered showers and storms through the afternoon. They should begin to fizzle out by the late afternoon hours out there, and we'll be mostly clear tonight, and our next round of thunderstorms won't be here until late tomorrow night across the area. Temperatures, most of us now in the low to mid 60s, starting to see some upper 60s across the area. Still cool down in Jay, though, at 59. Highs today, once again, upper 70s and low 80s. Some scattered, isolated thunderstorms for some of us again through the afternoon hours, and then we'll clear out as we head into the evening. As mentioned, we do have more thunderstorm chances on the way. Some of those could be on the strong side as we head into the weekend. We'll look at the details on that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, forecasters say extreme heat is tightening its grip on the country earlier than usual, with large pockets of the Southwest set to experience severe triple-digit temperatures this week. Fox News' Ted Lindner takes a closer look at how communities are preparing and the rush to prevent heat-related deaths.
The first official day of summer isn't technically until June 20th, but forecasters say an earlier than expected extreme heat wave has arrived. It's already brought triple-digit temperatures across portions of California, Nevada, Arizona, and Texas on Tuesday, and the blistering sun isn't expected to back down for the rest of the week.
The heat index is really bad, so you can get burned
The mercury could surge past 110 degrees in some areas by Thursday. Excessive heat warnings are in place Wednesday through Friday for parts of southeast California and southern Nevada and Arizona. Medical teams in Phoenix are practicing their responses, making sure they have enough ice and cooling bags for what's expected to be ramped up calls to treat heat-related illnesses.
I think we'll probably be using it 2 or 3 times a day.
And the high temps are also driving up worries over wildfires, especially in California, where crews have already been battling various blazes this week.
Anytime you add heat and wind to a situation, it can become explosive.
But they're not the only ones seeking water, with many folks flocking to pools for relief.
We have hydration stations, fountains.
This scorcher comes as families are still reeling from last summer's fatalities. Last June in Dallas, Eugene Gates Jr. was delivering mail when he passed out.
At the time that my husband died, it was the heat index at that time was 119 degrees.
According to data from the CDC, more than 2,300 people in the U.S. died from excessive heat-related factors last year. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
And that's a look at our top stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. How one dog in California is working to keep the food on your table safe. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the 66 Drive-In Theater in Carthage, Missouri. In Consumer Watch this morning, Disney receives initial approval to invest in its Florida parks. The board of Walt Disney World Special Tax District gave its first approval for a $17 billion investment, which could lead to park expansions in the future. The first vote received unanimous consent, with a second and final vote planned for next week. The potential 15-year agreement would allow Disney to construct minor parks and add to its hotel and retail businesses. Well, some discount store workers have an extra eye on you. The parent company of TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods is equipping employees with body cameras to deter theft. The cameras are worn by loss prevention associates. The TJX says the footage is only shared upon request by law enforcement or in response to a subpoena. The company had more than $112 billion in losses in 2022 due to stolen merchandise. Alaska's capital is calling for fewer people to visit its city by cruise ship. Juneau and Cruise Lines International Association in Alaska agreed to a deal that limits the number of daily cruise passengers. The deal requires a maximum of 16,000 visitors a day from Sunday through Friday and 12,000 on Saturday starting in 2026. Juneau saw a record 1.6 million cruise visitors last year, which caused too much wear and tear to the city. A woman who fell victim to a banking scam is telling her story in hopes it will help others. Fox's Molly McBride has more on how these scammers got away with thousands of dollars.
We've told you about scams in Summerlin, Henderson, and now North Las Vegas. This viewer says she saw our reporting and decided to speak up to keep this from happening to anyone else.
The bottom line is, if somebody calls you, just hang up.
That's her big takeaway after $9,000 was drained from her account.
I was at home and I got a call letting me know that there was suspicious activity on my account.
This is how it all started. She says that call even had her bank's caller ID. When she looked at her online banking account, sure enough, she found fraudulent charges totaling thousands of dollars. That's when the scammer said they had to secure her account immediately.
He went on to explain to me that due to the high amount of fraud that's been going on, that they would have to send a courier to pick up my card.
And within less than 10 minutes, that so-called courier arrived.
The gentleman showed up at my door, and he had the passcode.
I have your access card here.
And unbelievably, I opened my door and gave him my card.
After the card is handed over, the scammer pulls out a pair of scissors, chops the card in half, and then puts her card in an envelope. The card's chip isn't damaged.
I kept telling myself, it's got to be legit. They're not asking me for anything. They've got everything.
After the card is picked up, she gets fully locked out of her online bank account, losing access to it completely.
That's when I realized, I said, I'm in trouble here. Something's not right with this. And I just quietly hung up.
Now she jumps into action, calling her real bank, closing her accounts, and changing her passwords. She's hoping the money stolen is reimbursed by her bank, and while she waits, that her story serves as a warning before these scammers strike again.
I'm usually pretty good about spotting a scam, so if I fell for it, there's other people that will too, and it's just, they've got to be stopped.
Molly McBride, Fox 5 News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Coming up on 7:45 now on this Thursday morning. We're taking a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Got some showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder out there. Now pushing into Vernon and Bates County. So just rolling through Fort Scott, still getting some rain. A little shower redevelop over Iola as well. And Nevada, you are next on in line for this as it continues to push off to the east and southeast. So here's a look at that complex of showers and storms across northeastern Kansas. All of this will continue to develop and push to the south and to the east. So this is the rough course of this. So Pittsburgh, maybe as far south as Joplin may get into this. This will also ultimately include parts of maybe Monette, Mount Vernon out there. So here's what it looks like on the future track as we head to about noon. So we're going to have those showers and thunderstorms scattered out there. Not everyone will see rain, but some of us will see some showers and storms. The good news is no severe weather expected, nor is it expected to last necessarily all day. It may feel like it, but it will not, because as we head in late afternoon, early evening, that activity will fizzle out and we'll be mostly clear as we head into the overnight hours. I know future track showing a few stray showers out there. That may be a possibility. I do believe most of us will remain dry overnight tonight into the majority of our Friday. Stray shower too, again, possible Friday evening. Again, most of us should be dry. It's a late Friday night where our big thunderstorm chances begin to roll in. So initially some scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms, and then by about 1 a.m., take a look at this complex of showers and storms. And some of these could be strong to low-grade severe as we go overnight into Saturday morning. So we'll keep an eye on that. However, this complex exits very quickly. By 4:30 in the morning, it's gone on Saturday. Most of our Saturday is going to be dry. We'll be mostly clear to partly cloudy across the area. By Friday evening, say 5, 6 o'clock, a few isolated showers, maybe a thunderstorm will be possible. As we head later into the evening, similar to tomorrow night, another complex of strong, potentially low-grade severe thunderstorms will begin to roll into the area overnight, Saturday into Sunday. So again, some isolated to scattered storms today. Northern counties tomorrow night for that better chance of some strong to low-grade severe thunderstorms, and then a broader area for us Saturday night into Sunday. Quick look at temperatures. There's those clouds from those showers and storms in Kansas. Joplin, though, otherwise sunny, 62, variable breeze at about 3. Across the area, temperatures warming up, especially in the southeast Kansas. A few more mid-upper 60s out there. Further south and east, low to mid-60s. We get our day underway. Again, partly cloudy skies, and then some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms. 79 by 11 o'clock this morning. Highs today, upper 70s and low 80s. Overnight lows into the low 60s, mid to upper 80s tomorrow. Showers and storms again continuing into our Sunday, and then we'll dry out for the majority of next week. Few isolated storms possible by next Friday. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Well, a 2-year-old Labrador Retriever is doing a job only a handful of dogs can do in the state of California. Birdie is the first detector dog for the Yolo County Department of Agriculture, making the county only the 11th in the state to have one of these working dogs.
Now, Birdie's job is to sniff out packages shipped into the area, not looking for treats, but instead for pesky problems to protect local agriculture. Ashley Sharp introduces us to Birdie and his handler, Chris Tyler.
What did you find, Bird?
A day on the job of a detector dog looks like this. Search, sniff, and alert.
This one. Let's see.
Birdie's knows how to hunt down the seemingly ordinary.
She's looking for fruits, vegetables, seeds, bulbs, live animals, live fish, cut flowers, plants.
Birdie's handler, Chris Tyler, keeps this expert tracker on track.
She knows to differentiate that stuff from Grandma's cookie she sent you for graduation.
The pup pokes through package after package at post office and FedEx processing centers.
And inside this box are tomatoes.
And when she's right on target,
an inspector will then take the box, will open that box, and make sure that what we found doesn't contain a disease, a pest, or a weed, or anything that could be harmful if it was allowed to get out.
Only 11 counties in California have these USDA-trained detector dogs. Birdie is Yolo County's first.
We've found Caribbean fruit fly shipped from Florida on numerous occasions, and this is something we don't want here.
She's the first line of defense, keeping out any non-native threat that could wreak havoc on California crops.
So we could be talking about billions of dollars lost in a fight with an insect that we could have stopped.
The state produces 70% of the nation's fruits and vegetables. So Birdie isn't just fetching pesky problems in Yolo County. If a crop were decimated in California by a pest or disease, it would impact the world.
It's a miracle that these dogs can do it and do it as accurately as they do.
So you can thank this wagriculture expert and her nosy nose for helping keep your food on the table.
You know, labs are pretty smart.
They are, and important to protect agriculture for sure.
Absolutely.
Let's take a quick look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms now rolling into Nevada. Got a little thunder shower also out there northeast of Chanute, southeast of Iola. No severe weather expected, but we could see additional scattered showers and thunderstorms as this complex that's developed in northeastern Kansas continues to slide off to the southeast. Now, if this line sinks a little further south like it's trying, we may see these storms a little further to the southwest than what future track is showing as we head into the afternoon. The good news is, again, no severe weather expected with this activity, and it should be gone by the late afternoon, early evening hours. We'll have another look at your forecast, news you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Police in Parsons, Kansas are looking to interview Good Samaritans who helped during a house fire yesterday afternoon. Multiple victims had to be transported by air flight to Tulsa, including children. The police department calls this a multi-agency investigation and is looking for information from anyone who may have assisted residents before first responders arrived. The Columbus City Council announced that Kyle Clark is to serve as the next chief of police. Clark is a lifelong resident of Cherokee County who has served the police department for more than a decade. He replaces Chief Jason Daniels, who died last month after a battle with cancer.
And again, a few of us will see some isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Nothing severe, but still some thunderstorm activity possible. It'll dissipate as we head into the late afternoon, early evening hours. The rest of us partly cloudy, warm, upper 70s, low 80s. We'll go mostly clear later this evening and into the overnight, falling back into the low 60s. We've got late night thunderstorms tomorrow night into Saturday, and again Saturday night into Sunday. Some of those could be strong to low grade severe, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. And we'll dry out most of next week ahead of some additional isolated storm chances by next Friday. Temperatures warming up next week, too. A few more days into the upper 80s.
Alrighty. Well, tombstones at the Commonwealth War Cemetery in Normandy, France were lit up on Tuesday during a ceremony as part of the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Each grave was lit in tribute to the fallen, while Amazing Grace was performed from the Pegasus Memorial Band.
More than 4,400 Allied troops were killed on D-Day, including more than 2,500 Americans. The Allied toll grew appallingly in the Battle of Normandy that ensued, with 73,000 killed and 153,000 wounded. And of course, today, the 80th anniversary, and very important to remember those sacrifices that were made to protect freedom, protect the world, in all honesty. I mean, that was the whole point. It certainly did. Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.